All right. All right, thank you for joining. Let's go ahead and drop this link here on my X account. Boom, there we go. And we're back. So today I just wanted to go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here. It's been doing a lot lately, targeting these previous highs from the last bear market, right? So this is a very critical level. As you can see, it did get tapped. And now it's retracing just a little bit. If we go ahead and zoom in, we can see it's just been very bullish price action, right? I'm looking at the CME futures chart. Most of the time I do trade on the Bybit perpetual contract chart. A lot better when it comes to just volume and accuracy in price. Like for instance, if we go all the way back to the bull run of 2021, we had a point of control on the Bybit chart sitting right around 47.5, 47.7, and as you can see, price just came up and tapped that. Whereas when you go onto other charts like the Binance chart, the point of control is way down here. You know, we already blasted past that, went right to the yearly highs, and almost targeted the value area high off the Binance chart. But it seems like Bybit just has a lot more accurate information. There's a lot more big traders on Bybit in terms of the futures contracts. As you can see, so this just happened today. We had a fake out, right? So we had price come up, sweep the highs here based on the ETF being approved. Obviously it was just a fake tweet. In my opinion, that was probably a preset tweet, and the SEC just accidentally hit send 1 or 2 days too early. So obviously with that happening, my guess is that we'll probably see an approval later this week or sometime next week, right? You're not just going to mess up a tweet like that and then post the next day that it's finally been approved. So this little weird price action right here was 100% because of that tweet. And then instantly price just collapsed, right? Tapped the daily, blasted through the monthly. Now it's actually trading between the yearly and a swing failure pattern high I called out, but I will now delete that. Not really a swing failure level anymore. I mean, it kind of is, right? I mean, if you look at like on a higher time frame, maybe price shot up, trade above, came back down. It's more like a failed auction, not really a swing failure pattern. And then now look, price is looking to close below this high, right? So it's looking to close below this high. If we get a close below this high, it's going to be the first stages of just bearish, right? You can maybe put a stop loss above here, 5% away. You have to manage your position size so that this way you still only end up with a 1% loss if you were to get stopped out up there, right? Well, let's just go to a little bit more cleaner chart. Let's go here to the daily. Yeah, let me go ahead and delete a few things here. All right. So yeah, as you can see, this is the point of control for Coinbase. The yearly level is still there. And go ahead and add the text. Guess that's my OCD. But anyway, so as you can see here, we had a very strong move up. Price really blasted through. Now it seems to be trading right above this previous range. So we've been trading in this range for a very long time. We had a high, we had a low, we had a high, we had a low. Broke through it, flipped it. The resistance at the support, impulse through the yearly. Traded above the yearly for a decent amount of time, where this was another range that was forming, but obviously as you can see now, we have broken down through that range, right? Yeah, we have broken down through that range. And now we are trading between the yearly and the previous range highs. So this technically is also another range for you to keep in mind. Let's go ahead here. I could even go down to this little right there. Oh, what's going on here? There we go. All right, so technically this is another range of itself. All right, so price impulse higher, ranged a little bit here, failed, and came down lower. Now let me just see something really quick. So this is interesting too. I'm actually going to leave it just like this because this is a 50% line right here, and as you can see, price does respect this line a lot. And then this basically did like a 1-to-1 extension from the 50% line right here, right? So it went up, now untapped range over here, but as we can see, price is just range bound. You know, it's good to trade these in terms of ranges. If we get a break above, maybe we start doing something like this. And then, you know, you'd want to set your shorts, or you can go ahead and long in certain areas. All right, what would be a nice trade is what you can kind of see I have drawn out here, right? So you can see maybe price fails and loses this daily point of control. We come down, grab some liquidity underneath this low and this low too as well. It's kind of like an untapped low. Actually came very close but didn't get below it. So price comes down, sweeps this low, comes back up, back test, and then begins to move higher. And with that being said, I would then like to enter a long right here. Similarly, if we do see price move to the upside, I would like to see it come down, retest here, hold for a little bit before then entering a trade. Right here for a long, which, you know, this is basically a 3.5% channel. So that's a decent size trading channel right there. Same thing here, about 3% as well. You can technically trade this as a short also, right? So let's just say, you know, let's go ahead and put that back. Let's just say price then does something like that. Then you can try to enter this short position here, but only if price tries to move above, fails, and back tests this yearly and parallel channel low as resistance, right? Get a couple 30-minute closes below, or depending on how aggressive you want it to be, and then you take the short down to the bottom. You know, place your stop right above that high, right? That'll be a nice trade, 0.5% to gain 3%. So 6 to 1 RR, risk reward, right? Which is a pretty nice trade. I would actually consider taking that if we get it. It kind of sort of did it right here, you know, like it came down, back tested the yearly, failed it. If we zoom in a little bit more, you can even see failed it, tapped it again, so you could have gotten in here and gotten here too as well. You wouldn't have gotten too much. I mean, it's still a 1%, which is not too bad. You know, that's a scalp trade for most. And at the same time as well, I don't like that it already tapped this 3 times on the 5 minutes. So at the moment, it does look like it's holding above the daily point of control. It's a new day that just started, but it is also below the yearly, which is, this is major resistance here. So we have the yearly value area high, and let's see here. We could even go ahead and pull this fixed range tool here. I would rather pull it from here. Let's just see what's going on. Yeah, it's right there below the value area low of this. And then let me just see what happens if we move it here. So from this range, it's basically right below the point of control. So bounced off the value area low, came up, tapped the point of control. Still looks like it wants to move a little bit higher and retest this area one more time. Like I said, that could be a good short, but that's only if we go ahead and sweep these highs right here. If we can get a move above here, grab a little bit of liquidity, come back down, back test, then yeah, that's where I'd like to enter. So for right now, just a little bit patient. Not really sure what the market wants to do, but it is in an area where a possible short trade can come up. You know, a lot of people might not want to take that short trade there, but at the end of the day, it did fail to stay above the yearly, which is a sign of weakness, right? Let me go ahead and get this out of here. So it did fail to stay above the yearly, which is a sign of weakness. And with that being said, it would make sense to then try to look for short entries, right? Even if we went ahead and pulled the fib from the high to the low of this move, we have the golden pocket coming in right there. Let's see, we're at 382, it's already above it. Even the 50% is all right there. So this is a pretty interesting level, in my opinion. I would really like to see it try it one more time, break it, come down, back test it one more time before moving lower. And there it goes. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Fairly interesting. Seems to have even respected that line one more time. I would not be surprised if we get a move down, at least to here. Tap this trend line one more time, and then we either fail, hit this, come up, back test, and move down lower. You know, I would not be surprised to see something like that. Would not be surprised to see something like that. Will we get it? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, but that is what I would be expecting for sure. This is a very strong move off the bottom here. Lines up right there. And there it is, the move up to the value area high of the day. Also above the point of control. What was this from? Go ahead and delete this. So you see price did come down. It tapped the monthly, reacted, had a nice move into the yearly close or yearly open, came back down. Looks like it hit the 786 and bounced off that. Yep. Golden pocket, and it's now moving higher. So when you look at it this way, lower low, lower low, lower low, but you clearly just have some instability here. So let's just watch this a little bit longer. So we had that move down, and then, it's really not too much. The monthly here already reacted off the monthly, reacted off the golden pocket right here. We had a swing failure of the highs. I mean, to me right now, as it seems to be a little bit more bearish than bullish, but we are getting some nice reactions off of these technical levels. And this is a very massive level right here. This yearly is huge. This monthly is very important still, as you can see. Price resistance, broke above, came down, tapped it as support, came down, tapped it again. So unless we completely break through this monthly, then it will start to look a lot more bearish, right? So right now, it's just trying to figure out what it wants to do. But if we start doing something like this, at this point, I would think that we will be seeing lower prices, right? As you can see, there is a little ascending parallel channel. See the 50% line that's been respected, kept on getting tapped multiple times. So if we do see something like this happen, then I would expect from this point to see another 5% drop. Here's a point of control, so yeah, we'll obviously get a little reaction off of that, but I can see the 5% drop happening to this center point, which may actually line up. Let's see here. There it is, with the golden pocket there too as well. So we could get a nice little reaction here. You might have some people that want to do some swing failure pattern trades, right? And this would be a nice area to get that reaction. So if price comes down, takes the liquidity of what's here, takes this liquidity too as well. This one's a little bit further away, so sweep the lows of these two. Reclaim, starts to hold. Then I can see price come up again. And then yeah, that could be a decent little 3% move also. But as of right now, based on what Bitcoin is showing, it looks like it does want to move lower. I think it does want to move lower. It's already hit this massive level, this point of control, which was huge. Swing failure to high. Took out the weekly, daily, and it's now range bound below the yearly. So as you can see, it's still struggling below this yearly. Look, just tapped it. There's a value area high of the day. It's getting rejected. Point of control is also moved up. which does give you some room then, you know, to do a quick little move down. There's not much support until you get to these little pivots here. There's also the VWAP coming in. So that's a 0.5% move there, and it seems like a more likely move to retap this low. But that's only 0.5%, right? So I'm really not too interested in taking any trades until we see another attempt at this high, which would actually go right into the previous high from the last bull run, right? As you can see. So that's what I have this here. So this is the previous high from the last bull run, which comes in here at, let's see here, 50, is it? No. I got way too many colors on this chart. Let's just see something here. 48.2. So this is a pivot high, as you can see. 48.5 right here. So this level is pretty important. You'd want to see it take both those highs for sure. Then again, I could just do this. All right. Zoom in. So this was the previous pivot high, and there's another one right above it. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think that would be a nice short entry. Price to move up, take this high one more time, either fail here and we do something like that, or we go straight through it and fail this one and we come back down, something like that. So I would be more interested in this. Well, no, not really that short, because what will happen is if you enter a short here, price can also, because this is resistance, it can just come down, back test this, and then move higher, right? So this could be more aggressive. Yeah, you can put a very tight stop if you really want to. It wouldn't be a terrible idea. It's a pretty acceptable trade, but if you want to be a little bit more cautious, maybe you wait for price to then come back down below the point of control, right? And then you set a stop loss above this high. Yeah, 5% away, but then you just manage your position size. And there's a lot of confluence at this level, because then you could say the same thing. You set your stop loss here, and then here's a weekly level, here's the yearly level. So this is just a very tight level. So very close. Everything's very close, and you have the monthly right below that. But I think the most acceptable trade would be to just go into a short position as soon as you take these highs, because you never know what price can do. So, you know, it's always best to take the trade and just manage your risk reward, so that this way, if you do get stopped out, you're only losing maybe 0.5% to like 1% max, right? And then if you end up missing this trade, then there's this trade right here. You can just wait for a price and then just come back down here, tap this level before moving lower. Then you enter your short position right there. Right. But there isn't too many levels of interest. I would rather wait for Bitcoin to long Bitcoin again. I would rather wait for it to come and sweep these levels here. It's liquidity here, liquidity here. Price never came down and swept these lows. So there's whoever got into a long here still has all of their stops right in this little area here, right? There's still a few stops right here. And then, of course, there's some more stops right here. Ton of liquidity. So it would be nice to see Bitcoin come down, break through these levels, back test this, come down, sweep these lows, hit this 50% channel, come back up, claim this as support, enter a long position here, and off to the races, right? Put your stop loss below here, and then target either the point of control one more time or higher highs, right? Like the value area high of the previous bull run, which you can see comes in right here. So we are dancing above this level right here, this point of control. The value area high would be a very nice target. Will we get there? We don't know, but that's where I am more interested in entering a long position. Here it's just a little too much. Like I said, you can technically, like right here, see the yearly, look at that. Look at the 5-minute close right below the yearly. So here would not be a bad idea or bad time to think about entering a short, but there's still liquidity that has not been grabbed right here. So even though this is not a bad place to short, it's very aggressive because you can still place your stop right above, which, you know, it's less than 1%, so it wouldn't be a bad trade, right? You just put your stop right above there. It's 0.3% away, so it's actually pretty good. So you can enter a short here, see if it will break this daily point of control, and then target, you know, 1% down into these lows, right? The golden pocket, because yes, this is also a range as well. So if we go to a cleaner chart, let's just hide all this for now. Oh, wait. Anyway, so yeah, let's go ahead and hide that for now. If you wanted to, you can, let's see what this looks like here. A little reaction here. I gotta get this out of here, 1 second. Gone. Just so you can see it just a little bit better. Right, so here is a, hold on a second. Right. All right, so here's a yearly. As you can see, price has respected this level. 5-minute tapped it twice. So let's just see what it does over the next few minutes. But like I said, it wouldn't be a terrible trade because you can just enter the short. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, stop loss above this high here. Let's just look at the minute really quick. Yeah, above that, maybe you can even put your stop above this. As you can see, this 1, 2, 3 came up and tapped that a few times. So, yeah, which is 1% stop, not bad. So it's like a 1-to-1, well, 2-to-1. Still not a terrible trade. So if that does play out, you're risking $1 to win 2, and that could possibly take you down even lower, right? Because we are right above this previous channel. So if we can get price, if you do enter the short and we get a reaction and then we get accepted back into this parallel channel, now you're talking an 8% move down. If we break this diagonal dynamic support and flip it into resistance, right, something like that. It's pretty ugly, but you get the idea. Nah, hold on, gotta make this a little cleaner. Hold up. So, you know, come down, price hangs out, comes down, back test this as resistance, hits this, dances a little bit, hits this, moves higher, who knows, maybe hits this, bounces down, breaks through this, back test as resistance, and then moves down lower. So if you get this entire move to play out, if it goes to the bottom of the channel, that's 13%. Back to the previous point of control on Coinbase, that's about 15% away, right? Which is not too bad. So that's the only one I can really see. You want to be a little bit more aggressive in a short. You want to take that short trade, you can do so. I personally wouldn't. I'll just wait for it to resweep these highs. I think if we do get Bitcoin to reclaim this level again, it's going to be very easy for it to go back up here because it took out a lot of liquidity off the top here, right? There were a lot of people with shorts open right here. Price impulse through, stopped them all out, found resistance, and then came all the way back. So all those people are stopped out. There's no more liquidity up there. So with that being said, once price does break above this little few pivots here, it'll be very easy for it to go back up to that high. And then that's where I would be more inclined to take a short position, right? Because if I go back to this Bybit chart, like I said, right above it, you have a few pivots. You have a swing failure pattern here. You have the previous range high or pivot high of the last bear market. And then you have another very important level right above it too as well. So I'll be more interested in the short if we get an impulse up. Sweep this high, sweep this high. Would be nice to sweep this high as well, and then come back down, back test this level right here before then moving a lot lower. We're not really sure where price will go, but that's why we set alerts. But that's pretty much the trade idea there. Next, we do have Ethereum, which did a lot. Let's see. All right, so we had the low for ETH BTC pair. It was tapped, swept, and found a little bit of strength. So maybe we'll still get a nice little move up from this low being tapped. If that's the case, then would not be surprised. I think ETH will be moving a lot closer. Okay. All right, so we still got the point of control right above it. Let me check one more thing here. So on the Bybit chart, the point of control is all the way at 3,100. The value area low, we're trading right above it. Which is pretty interesting. Because we are range bound still, as you can see. I drew this a little while ago, but we are right above the value area low of the previous bull run on the Bybit chart. But as you can see, even though ETH did this nice little impulse into the highs, it just tapped the range, right? Because we were range bound from here. Pretty respected level. Would have been nice to at least sweep these highs, so that this way you can get something like this. A little acceptance back into the channel there. Let's go ahead and pull some more fibs. Point of control if this range is right there. Value area high, it's above it. Yeah, with ETH it seems a lot more straightforward. Bybit is very high, 3,100, that's pretty high. But on the Binance chart, it's a lot closer, 2,500. It's a point of control. You have a lot of confluence down here, a lot of confluence right by the range point of control. Seems like ETH likes the Binance chart just a little bit better, because if you then look at this, we had the point of control of this range. Right? We had the point of control of this range, and I pulled the fib from this low to the high, which gave us this. So now this is kind of invalidated. Not invalidated, but you know, it's not as significant anymore since price already reacted off that level. But you had a point of control, you had a golden pocket, which then led to a nice little impulse move up. So you could have caught that 6% move right there. Tap the daily. Now it's trying to close above the daily. This was important. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, no. There's a few little important levels here. The value area keeps on moving. But yeah, it looks like ETH is like a little bit more straightforward, to be honest. I know it seems a little complicated. I have a lot of lines on here, but this is a range right here. I don't really want to delete that. I'll just keep that back there, but if I just go back to here, you'll see. This is why it's a lot cleaner just on this, because this is the range. This is basically what you're trading in. Until you get a break above this range high and consolidation, then I wouldn't really be looking for higher prices, right? We need some sort of consolidation above these highs for me to then think it's very bullish, because right now it is a bit more bearish than it is bullish, right? We're at the top of the range. So with that being said, it's not the best place to try to enter along, right? You want to enter along right at this 50% mark right here, this line, or even better at these lows. Obviously you can see we had a few deviations below the range, but At any point, if you took a long whenever price tapped these lows, you would have been up a decent amount, right? This is basically a 12% channel you're trading in. So same thing, you get into some short positions from the highs, about 11% channel down. So this is the range we're basically trading in. You can be aggressive and try to take some shorts here. If price comes back up here, put your stop loss above these wicks. It's about 2% away. And you have 11% targets below. Technically, this was a swing failure pattern. I'm sure some people took this trade, which is not too bad. As you can see, it played out pretty nicely for some people. If you were to enter this, it wouldn't be too bad, but price tapped it, came up, failed. Some people, I'm sure, entered a short position thinking it's a swing failure, put their stops above here, they got wicked out. But then you could have done it again. One more trade here, short. But then you could have placed your stop above the top of the parallel channel. And yes, that would have been 2 trades in a row, but it doesn't matter, right? Because you still managed your risk, and you could at least took in about 1%. But if you did take that first trade, you would have been, let's see here, 1.6. That would have stopped you out. You still would have made 1.2% if you exited at this low. And its price is still trading below the VWAP, so yeah, you can still get another 3% move down. And then 5% down. All right, so not too bad. ETH is a very straightforward plan, nothing too crazy. It's just trading. It's range bound right now, so you know it's nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy at all. So let's see here. Okay, let's see here. All right, not sure what really happened just now. I guess some of the neighbors got home. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is just how straightforward ETH is. It's not too complicated, you know. You want to short the highs, long the lows. So very straightforward channel. Like I said, I wouldn't really care to enter any longs up here unless I see price consolidating above. And I would be looking at the, I'll be looking more at this one first because Binance, the point of control is a little bit closer at 2,500. So if we can get a move, above this level here, get a nice little consolidation, then long it up to the point of control, right? That's really the only long I'm interested in at these levels. Try to get at least a 6% move up. If we do manage to sweep these highs, take out the liquidity, come back down, back test this or back test this, then you can target the bottom of the range or this very high confluence area, which is approximately, if you enter the trade from these levels, still 8% down. So those are really the levels I'm interested in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if there's a level, or is there, I wonder, is there any, let's see here. Do you guys have any coins that you'd like me to analyze? Let's see. Still figuring out this thing. Let's see here. So no comments yet. But hit the like button for your boy, and put a comment down below if you'd like me to chart something. Definitely don't mind charting. Not sure why my screen is so blurry. It's a little annoying. But anyway. Yeah, leave a comment of a coin that you'd like to see me chart. I can probably do that really quick. If we don't get any comments, I don't mind ending the stream, but hit that like button. Like I said, leave a comment. I'm going to try to do this more often, at least every single day. Maybe 10 p.m. seems like a good time. I'll try in the mornings as well, maybe 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, very simple idea for ETH, nothing too crazy. Like I said, you can't enter the shorts. It's still a decent area. It's not terrible as long as you manage your position size. Hoping to target lower prices. You can have a 2-to-1. Still decent gains there. You're talking 10%. That's a lot. Yeah, along the lows after the sweep of the lows. Let's see if there's any daily levels on Bybit here. No. What about weekly levels? No. No. Yeah, nope. Nothing too crazy. I did enter a long on Aptos. It seems to be retracing a little bit, but I only took this long because we had the anchored VWAP. Price came down. Tapped the anchored VWAP. We have this dynamic support. Dynamic diagonal support right here. Price came down, basically tapped that as well. And we also have this level, which is a swing failure level, so swept those lows. So that's basically, and what other level? And the 886 retracement. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons why that long trade was a good place to enter, right? So you would have entered somewhere around here. You're already up 3%. And if we break out of this descending triangle, I wouldn't be surprised for price to go and tap this weekly level up here. So you're talking about from where we are now, another 9%. Maybe price can actually even do something like this. Come out, boom, 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 come down, which it seems to always do before really moving up. And if that's the case, then you can enter somewhere around there. And that's about another 10%. So keep your eye on Aptos. The BTC pair is looking a little bit more bullish after tapping these lows, right? So we needed to really close above this. If we needed to close above this, because this is the major low, as you can see, there's a low right here. So price is basically struggling to stay above that low. It did react off these lows, but we needed to definitely come above here and start trading above this level. So then we can get the BTC pair looking strong. Then the UST pair, DT pair would most likely follow. And where can it possibly go to? Let's see. Let's just see where the 382 hits. Right at the value area high. Look at that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see from where we are now possibly another 27% increase, right? That's the point of control, which we're trading above. And usually the value area high will be a magnet. So as you can see, price actually traded above it, came down, back tested, and then went straight to the value area high. So I wish I saw it at this point. It should have had an alert, but it did exactly that. Sometimes now it's, you know, already tapped it twice, did a double top. I would think price may actually continue to move lower if Bitcoin gets weak. And if that's the case, then you're talking possibly losing the point of control and then going down to the monthly right here. Well, this one first, but if we sweep these lows and we get a move down here, sometimes price just likes to go right to the value area low, which would be extremely low for Aptos. I don't really see it getting that low anytime soon, but it is a possibility. But for right now, there's enough confluence for me to enter this long trade, stop loss below the lows. So let's just see what happens here. I did draw this out earlier. This is the golden pocket of this move. So I would expect price to come down, at least play with this level before moving higher, or come down to like the 786 before moving higher, breaking out, retesting, and going up for that 25% possible gain, or 10%. All right, so we're gonna see how that all plays out. We will see. We will see. All right. So yeah, leave a comment below if you want to see me chart anything. I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you for everybody that joined in. I'll try to do this more often. And hit that like. And don't forget to follow me on X. I do some pretty good calls. Obviously not perfect, but I do post. As you can see, boom, buying some Aptos spot here. Mina. A lot of little stuff here. Come join me on x.com. And yeah, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Until next time, and once again, hit that like and subscribe button. It'll help my account grow. And yeah, we're gonna do some great things this year. Take care.